King voted for Trump in 2016, again in 2024. But he's voting for Democrats in 2026 because he believes the country needs to send Trump a midterm message.
I am pro-military, and we have a strong need to protect this country. I know there are threats, and I know there are enemies that want to see the downfall of this country. But you can't be flippant about war. You cannot.
Conversations with friends here and fellow veterans across the country convince him big change is coming.
The shine's kind of coming off the Trump presidency. Really kind of see through the true core of who he is versus what he campaigned on.
You're seeing this now on the second year of his presidency. The time it takes for MAGA brains to be processing things is just phenomenal. Like, y'all be on Windows Vista when you should be on the current programming software. Some people are like, no, he's not. He will still vote for him. His heart hasn't changed. His circumstances have, and that's that.
You're goddamn right.
He will vote for Republican again because he didn't learn from his mistakes.
Welcome to another episode of FAFO, where I bring you stories of MAGA voters that have entered the find out phase of their vote. Kenneth on Facebook wrote the following: I voted for rump, for better prices. I was wrong, lol. My bad. First it was eggs, and milk, now it's gas. I knew I gave that orange MFer too much credit. Where's the service desk? I need to return my vote, lol. And his Facebook post got a few responses. One from Justin says, I voted for the B, too, 3 times. Hate to even write that, but hey, at least I'm able to see that neither side cares. These gas prices are going to be around till about August or longer. A user named Amber responds by saying, I just truly for the life of me do not understand why the F he's still blanking after effing with the Haitians. Even but Iran? Man. And feel free to finish the rest of Amber's comment because I'm not going to read that out loud. April responds by saying, the worst part is, gas is now high again. At the same time, everything else skyrocketed. A user named Jason responds by saying, I think it's temporary pain. They should drop within the next couple weeks, and it still isn't as high as it was under Biden. I admit it sucks. Needs to be addressed. I drive a frickin' V8, but according to some, the president doesn't control the gas prices. Does he or doesn't he? But still, it effing blows. And then a user named Lewis responds to Jason by saying, I never supported Biden, but I don't ever remember $4.99 a gallon in Chillicothe. In a post from a different user on November 6th of 2024, she wrote, Rump, please make America great again, regardless of differences in opinions. People have, the devil came to steal, unalive, divide and destroy. There's so many struggles out there. Life is too short for hate, chaos, tension, and bitterness. I can't do those things. I choose life, love, and peace. My stress level is high enough as is. Have a good day. #RumpVance2024. Then on November 11th of 2025, the same user writes, so what's the real deal with this? I hear about $2,000 Rump is giving us Americans? Is this legit a thing or not? Well, let's see how she's doing now.
A few moments later.
Well, this user posted an image of gas prices, and she wrote, how in the world are we supposed to get by with gas prices like this? America, it has to change.
And they still don't seem to get it. The number of people willing to compromise other people's freedom and livelihood for cheap eggs is wild, or cheap gas, but they ain't getting none of that as well. I saw a man on the news saying that gas prices should drop in 60 weeks. 60 weeks? That's 14 months. Just because you put it in weeks doesn't make it less time. I hate it. That's the manipulation that they be throwing around. But you'll see this quite common on Fox News. They do this quite often.
Nah, I know you fucking lying. I know you fucking lying. Nah, this got to be AI. You tattooed another man's name right underneath your lips and then added apostrophe S. Apostrophe S. You added apostrophe S for possession? For possession? And then after that, you added new ballroom? You labeled your chin the new... You labeled your chin
the new ballroom for a next man? There's a lot of rooms to pick from. The bedroom, the living room, the family room. What possessed you to give signage for where the next man can rest his balls? And I ain't with the shaming. It's just like your chin is not a ballroom. No one can dance on your chin. So you are not referring to a room in which people have a ball. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, and if I'm right, I'm an ally. Do your thing, big dog. But this sounds like this is the new place for Trump to rest his balls. On your chin, you decided to put this. You could have put this on your shoulder, on your back, on your kneecap, on your eyelid. You put Trump with an apostrophe S for possession. New ballroom?
Liberals are out here blaming the Trump economy, the Trump administration for Spirit Airlines bankruptcy, but they totally forgot about the fact that Spirit wanted to merge with JetBlue and the Biden admin said no. Yet again, the economic illiterate are trying to control the narrative here.
Hi, Matt. Actually, it was a Reagan-appointed judge who blocked the merger between Spirit Airlines and JetBlue. And the reason he did it was because he felt that the lower prices from Spirit Airlines was helping keep pressure on the entire industry to keep prices low. And he was right, Matt, because leaked internal documents from JetBlue showed that as soon as they inherited those Spirit airplanes, they intended on raising the price of all Spirit routes anywhere from 24 to 40%. So if they had been allowed to merge back then, we would have all been paying higher ticket prices at the airport for the last 2 years. And I gotta say, Matt, it is hilarious seeing a Trump supporter call us economically illiterate when you guys thought that you were getting $5,000 DOGE checks, $2,000 tariff rebate checks, free IVF for everyone, and you thought that Trump was going to use tariffs to replace the IRS. And you're calling us economically illiterate? Okay, bud. And just so you know, Matt, this is not the only airline that's going to go out of business. Ever since Trump's botched war in Iran, fuel prices have just about doubled for the airlines. So you guys might want to figure out what you're doing over there, Matt, and you might want to wrap it up because Donald Trump is absolutely sinking this country right now. All right, bud, let us know when that Strait of Hormuz gets back open, okay? You know, like back when Biden was in office and it was wide open. All right, thanks.
The fact that they still have Biden's name in their mouth is crazy. Like, yo, that man left office a year and a half ago. Let's move on to the person right now. The CEO of Spirit even blames the fuel costs due to Trump's war. These MAGA morons are afraid of actual facts. It's exhausting.
The election was stolen from him in 2020, so they should give him an extra term.
Explain that to me. Why he just got a second term here.
Right. But I'd like to have him get the third term.
Right. But like, he already has another term right now. He won the election this time. Nobody's debating that.
Yeah.
So why would he get an extra one just because, even if it was stolen, which it wasn't?
Yeah, he feels that 2 consecutive years for the terms.
Yeah.
It's like when he had one term, then they kind of took it away from him, the second one.
Yeah.
So they should give him the third one.
No, but that doesn't really make sense then, because he would have had that term, and then he wouldn't have been able to run again because of the Constitution. And now he's just getting an extra one, even though he won, and he's currently president for the second term, and you're not allowed to run for a third term because of the Constitution.
Okay. I believe in Trump.
Okay.
I say, Trump.
Okay.
That's it. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
Okay. So what is Donald Trump's greatest accomplishment?
Defeating the Democrats. Yeah.
Twice.
3 times, actually. 3 times.
3 times? You talking about 2020?
Yeah. That election was stolen.
You think 2020 election was stolen?
Absolutely.
So Donald Trump's been in office for a year and a half. There hasn't been any evidence that's been released by his Justice Department about the 2020 election. Do you think that's going to come out?
I do. Yeah.
Why do you think his own Attorney General, Bill Barr, didn't find any evidence of voter fraud?
I question Bill Barr's integrity.
His loyalty, for sure, probably.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to look back in history and this is going to look like a good thing that the United States did, building a...
Depends on the perspective that it's looked at.
Okay.
I mean...
Could you see the bad perspective, that it looks like a concentration camp?
Yeah, I can totally see that.
And did that give you pause?
No.
No?
No.
This gentleman has some great questions, but the amount of yes men and people who have no brains just following Trump for the sake of just supporting him is crazy. Like, surely this is staged. I wish it was, but unfortunately, these are actual people. When my wife calls me stupid, I watch this video 3 times and I feel better. What is in the water down there?
This video is specifically for the MAGA and Trump people, so if you're not one of them, please go away. Now, explain to me how this ballroom went from having a list of donors who are going to cover the full cost of it, the $200 million, to it jumping to $400 million, to now it's $1 billion because they need to cover the security adjustments and upgrades related to the ballroom, and that cost is now going on the taxpayers. And on top of all that, this was already said to be illegal by a judge.
President Trump has been saying when the war ends, the gas prices are going to drop like a rock, he says.
Well, I believe they will. They'll never be like they were back in the 1900s, but they'll drop back down to where people can afford it.
Franklin Scott, a 3-time Trump voter and truck driver, believes Donald Trump when he says gas prices will drop like a rock when the war is over. He is part of the MAGA coalition who are willing to ride with this president to the bitter end, if that's where it goes. It is why he's waving off a $4.50 national average gallon for gas. But Franklin and those like him might soon be the exception rather than the rule, that is, if they aren't already. Independents, who make up the largest voting bloc in this country, have had enough, which is why these numbers we're about to share with you are so overwhelmingly stark. They're in line with the numbers that we've been witnessing over the past couple months. Here they are, according to a new Washington Post ABC Ipsos poll. 76% of Americans disapprove of President Trump's handling of the cost of living. That is inching to 80%, folks. 72% disapprove of his handling of inflation, 65% don't like how he's dealing with the economy, and 61% don't like how he's managing taxes. Sit on that for a moment. The president who campaigned on lowering costs day one, who won on that promise, now has 76% of Americans saying the costs are still too damn high and that they disapprove of the job the president is doing to lower them. So where is the big White House freakout on this? Where is the big Republican freakout on this? Lawmakers, from all appearances, look pretty sanguine, publicly at least. Maybe they believe that the base is there and that's all they need, or that time will heal this, or that Trump somehow always manages to survive, which is true. At least it has been. Does that truth still hold today? Well, I mean, it's a genuine risk. One White House official is acknowledging that to MS Now, albeit anonymously, saying, quote, "The vibe right now is we know we're already cooked in the midterms."
People are still going off a vibe. I'm not surprised that it's 76% disapproved, but I'm surprised that there's still a percentage of people who support this. I'm assuming they could only be MAGA voters who are completely cuckoo in the head, or it would have to be these billionaires who are enjoying all of these benefits that they're getting from the Trump administration. It has to be those two group of people. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are about these MAGA voters who are starting to see the shine kind of dwindle off of Trump. Leave your comments down below. And by the way, I'm sorry for the fact that I haven't uploaded any videos. It was because I was traveling and moving out, so unfortunately there had to be some delay, but now things are going to be back on roll. So I hope you guys can stick around and subscribe to the channel. If it's your first time, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out this video. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it, but nevertheless, I will see you guys when I see you. Peace.